Hello everyone, Namaste. My name is Luke Elijah. Thank you for watching this video. My video guest today truly needs no introduction, right? Yantara Jiro from Sound Universe is one of the most popular veteran spiritual practitioners we have in our community. In fact, he's so popular and in demand that he was meant to be my first video guest, but it took me 6 weeks to pin him down, right? Because he's so busy and always traveling around the place. Right? Thank you very much, Jiro, for agreeing to be here with us today in this video.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good to be here and finally connected with you.
Yes, finally. Right, Jiro, for those people who might not know you, right, could you give us a little bit about your history and background, how you got started doing spiritual work?
So I'm probably going to condense everything into a brief introduction. I hope that this will give you a good picture. Let's say I started about 10 years ago in 2004, and at that time I was still exploring spirituality, doing my own meditation, so on and so forth. But I attended a workshop that connected with my guides. So since then I connected with different light beings, so to speak, and through the channeling mode itself I was being guided to expand, to reach out, to connect with people, and also to share how to reconnect back into our heart space. So my main focus started 2004 was channeling. Then subsequently sound was introduced into my life as the main focus. So concurrently I will have two. One is the channeling mode and the other is the sound expression. Combining these two, I receive information in a very rapid way. So I started using sound mainly through my vocal cord, which about light language, and also using some other minor instruments. Until a couple of years ago I started using crystal bowls and other string instruments. So my main work right now, actually after 10 years, I feel is to provide opportunities, platform for people to step up and allow their own powers to come back to themselves, so that they can just do whatever that they feel that inspires them.
Wow, wonderful. In your whole decade-long experience of being a practitioner, you actually came out with 3 albums. Right?
Yes.
Could you tell us more about these albums?
I never thought of actually making albums at all.
It just organically occurred.
It just happened. In fact, since young I always been interested in mantras, because my mother, she's a Buddhist and she loves playing the goddess Kuan Yin mantras. So every time she plays, I keep singing along with her. And soon after I started toning until a particular time where earlier I mentioned about the light language that came. I started using these sounds and the mantras started coming too. So I started using more of a melody version through the sessions that I do for people. And while I was doing these sound turnings and I was singing, I find that it is very therapeutic. At the same time, it supports the people to relax, but I also see good results. So as this interest grew, in Taiwan I met, I was having an event, and then we were approached by 2 ladies who were from a company who says, "Oh, I'm interested in your voice, I heard about it." And so after they attended the event, they said, "Okay, we want to do an album for you." So that was how I started in year 2012. In fact, my first album was launched. It's called Star Journey. It has 2 CDs in there. One is that has lyrics in there, but also has light language sung in a lyrical manner. And also the second CD in the same album of Star Journey, it's about activation. So you have a lot of tonings, light language and stuff. The other 2 CDs was released last year, 2014. And that was Gifts of Blessings, which is a guided meditation. And also another one is the Crystal Rainbows, which you will see here. It's been made by recorded using this alchemy crystal singing bowls.
Nice. Speaking of alchemy crystal bowls, could you tell us more about these bowls? They look so beautiful to look at, and these look very delicate and fragile, but yet they produce such beautiful sounds. Could you share with us more how you came about working with this brand?
Well, in 2009, I believe it was. I had a concert in Tokyo, and my friend at the time she was playing quite a lot of these bowls. I didn't know what was it. So when I finally got to it, I said, "Hey, these bowls look really familiar." So I realized, many years ago I visited the website.
Yes.
And I looked at all these beautiful, colorful bowls, and I thought that they looked like candies. So
they do in a way, yes.
They do like candies. Yes. So I was like, I don't know what are they. So
delicious.
I turned it off the website, didn't care more about it, but it sort of came to me. So I think maybe 2010 or so, perhaps I started to or 2011, I can't remember exactly, I started to have more interest about them. So they're from Crystal Tones.
Made in the US.
Yes, companies called Crystal Tones. And these bowls are very unique in what way is that the crystals are very pure. They are 99.996% pure, and they're melted in 4,000 degrees Celsius to mold it into the crystal. So which means the matrix of the crystals are very nicely packed together. So if you strike the bowl, it will produce a very consistent drone. And these tones itself could travel very, very far distances. So they've used machines to detect it and travel really far distances. Why I would say so is because during one of my recording in Beijing, we were on the 3rd floor in a recording studio. The whole building was a recording studio, so there's many rooms of it. So we were at the top floor and we were striking the bowls and we were playing and all that. The owner came up and he said, "What are you guys doing?" I said, "Oh, we're just playing these bowls." And I said that, I could hear you from the ground floor. And he said, this is a shame for us because it's supposed to be a recording studio and it's soundproof.
Yes.
But the sound managed to penetrate through
the
all the layers,
vibrations.
all the way down to the 1st floor. So it's really interesting. So the crystal bowls, besides being made with a very high quality pure quartz crystals, they also been infused with different minerals, gemstones, and precious metals. So what you see here is a fusion of different ingredients, elements we call them, being placed into it. And of course they have specific names. So for example here we have an 8-inch bowl which measured from
yes,
and then we have 8-inch the G note, and this is called Divine Mother. So Divine Mother in there has like 6 different elements in there. So we could have like diamonds in there, we have ruby in there, we have platinum in there, kyanite in there. So a lot of different mixture, including gold and such. So each material is being added over time depending on temperature. That's why it's called alchemy.
I see.
It requires studying of different temperatures and all that. So then the energy of the stones, the minerals and all have been infused in there. So instead of just wearing crystals and been meditating with crystals, now you can actually hear the sounds of the energy. And that is being fused together ultimately into your cells.
Yes.
So the properties of these precious metals or minerals or crystals, they are being amplified by the sound. Yes. And then they resonate with the water in the body, which then helps to align our chakras, and clear our thoughts, to calm our mind, to produce nitric oxide so we could relax and so forth. And the bowl here is what we have is
a 6-inch diameter.
It's a 7-inch
7-inch.
actually. 7-inch E note, which works on the solar plexus. Well, earlier I didn't say which chakra is for the throat chakra, G note, and the E note here for the solar plexus. So we have azutolite citrine. Azutolite is the white portion you see here on this, sort of like a painting, flow around the bowl.
Yeah.
And azutolite is said to be a very powerful crystal where it amplifies whatever that you add into it. So then the base here is yellow, which is citrine. So citrine is like self-cleansing, re-energizing, and of course, a lot of people associate abundance with citrine. So this is on the solar plexus, giving you courage and strength to express yourself, feeling abundant and all that. Then we have here, which is the largest bowl among the 3, we have a 9-inch C note, which is work on our base chakra. C note, in fact, and G note is very popular, I feel, because it gives a very good, we'll call it the perfect fifth in the musical term, is to really create that ratio of harmony that connects all the chakras in a very even way. So the C note, we have emerald plus rose quartz plus platinum. So just for our viewers here, you could see right underneath, all these different mix of colors.
Yeah, it looks like mother of pearl.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and all different
it's
colors.
gorgeous.
Yeah, the green part you see is like the emerald, and then you have
iridescent.
rose.
Yes. And as you tip the bowl, I can see as it catches the light, the color changes as well.
So the beautiful rainbow part, as you say here, the iridescent part is the platinum part. Yes. So, playing these bowls itself, I find that the quality is very different because I've not heard of any instruments, I would say, in the terms of crystal singing bowls that produce such
Pure
consistency.
sounds. Yes. Yeah, the resonance from this is divine and heavenly. I mean, compared to the boring old traditional Tibetan bowls, this one is like one level up. It's like the transformed, elevated version of the old traditional Tibetan bowls that people are more used to, right? What could you give us a sound demonstration of these bowls?
Yeah, clearly we could do that. So viewers here, while you're listening to this, for just a brief moment even, you could just close your eyes and just focus with your breath and just relax and enjoy. If you're curious, you can just open your eyes and peek, that's fine.
That's gorgeous, thank you. It just sounds so angelic, divine, and heavenly, It just makes me want to upgrade my Tibetan bowl to one of your crystal bowls, right? You do bring this into Singapore and people can buy it from you.
Yes. These crystal bowls are actually available on our website. Actually, we do have a website. It's called thesounduniverse.com. And thesounduniverse.com is a company that we established several years ago. And we are here to share these bowls here, especially in Asia. And so far we are having offices in Taiwan and also soon in Japan, which is a new one in 2015, and also in Canada, and also distributing in China soon.
Great, right. So I'll be placing the link below this video, so feel free to click on it if you're interested to find more about these bowls or to purchase one for yourself, right? Jiro, how I first met you was actually through introduction from a friend, and he actually gave me your 2 CD, and I was like listening to your CDs, and I was listening to to an uninitiated person, it just sounds like gibberish, but I was later told that okay, this is actually light language, right? And this amazing sound coming from you, right, from your vocal cords. Could you explain to the people what light language is about and give us a demonstration?
Indeed, I would say light language is a very interesting subject because it is very broad and it really, well, to the general public perhaps at one glance itself, the light language may seem to be weird or this may sound gibberish, or it may, to others who are familiar, may say, oh, this might sound like speaking in tongues. But because
it does sound like that. It does sound like speaking in tongues.
Yes, but because I've never had any experience, in so-called an official or a proper environment that promotes the idea of speaking in tongues. So I don't know actually how that feels like. But it came to me, in 2004, like earlier when we first started the journey together with our audience here. I spoke about attending the workshop again with my guides. So that was when the light language came, so to speak. Okay, I didn't know it was light language too either. But why it's been actually called light language is because it's been said that if it's spoken fast enough or rapid enough in pulsating tones, it actually creates flickering of light inside the pineal gland. So the pineal gland sort of like receives the friction of the sound and it pulsates. So it expands, contract, and there's water in there, creates electricities, and then you see visions. So your eyelids will like flicker, and when it does that, it's actually seeing something. It's very interesting because you can actually, anyone can do it. It's like little children, infants or little babies when they're born and they're communicating with other. I'm sure our friends here have seen, Facebook clips or YouTube clips about these little children. They have not really learned any proper linguistic skills, but they're sort of they're communicating. They're communicating one another using their own language, so to speak.
Yes.
What is that language? The language of energy, the language of emotions. So it's like a little baby who is crying, the mother knows that this sound means hungry, this sound means changing diapers, it means like I want to be hugged and so forth. So light language is similar to that. It's just that when we grow older, when we begin to learn our ABCs and all that, we sort of shut down that part because our parents say, now you no longer need to speak that because I cannot understand you, so speak a language that we can all understand. So then that part has been shut down. But it's always been there. If we allow ourselves to open up and to just allow ourselves to make sound, in fact, everybody can do it. But the key thing is, it's interesting for light languages that it depends on which level of consciousness you are. As we know, our mind has different state of frequencies, our brain waves have different state of frequencies. So when our brain waves achieve a certain state of vibration, say whether it's lower or higher, with theta, delta, however that it is, from that level, whichever level that is, when you speak the light language, it produces different results. So it's like when a singer goes into a mood of feeling inspired or feeling empowered and sing the song, and it will feel that way. But singing the same song but feeling low, it will give you a totally different feeling. So speaking light language is the same thing. When you go into that state of consciousness, then you speak, it will have meaning. Otherwise, it can just sound like gibberish.
Yes.
But it can have energy in there if you align your mind, center yourself, like how we do our simple breathing, or people who are doing yoga, so you get into a space and you breathe, and you allow yourself to tone.
Yes.
Whatever sound that comes out, it could be a vowel, and then subsequently the vowels could multiply, and then you could allow the speed to go up, and then eventually it will flow. But the key thing is, why am I doing this? Some people ask.
Yes.
Why do I want to speak light language? What is the purpose of that? I think it's a very important subject to explore, because people might say that, I can speak English, or when I channel this up, I can just speak whatever native language that I am in English or Mandarin or whatever that it is. But I found that sometimes speaking in those languages, it limits, in my experience, it limits my vocabularies or the way I try to explain what it is that is coming through, or to share what is coming through. But when I go into the light language version of it, I can just not think about what is going to come, but rather I allow my mind to translate automatically. So it comes out in chunks, I would say, like chunks of information, and like in paragraphs. So you see pictures rather than sentences. So if I were to say, okay, describe, look, imagine a forest. Then you were like, okay, so your version of forest, however that looks like, you can describe that. But if I were to say, now imagine that there is a leaf, the leaf is like this, the branch is how long, what diameter is that, the color of shape is this, I will spend a long time explaining just to create the picture of the forest, because they add all the elements in there, but you could just come in. So light language for me has been like that, but one of the key impact, I would say, in my exploration of light language is that trust is extremely important, because at first you would think like, I think I'm going crazy, speaking in such a funny way, and so I said to my friends or said to some of the participants, if you could do this in front of the public itself, there's nothing else you would be afraid of anymore.
That's true.
Because because you're just expressing, you're just allowing. So you wouldn't think about how people will judge you, and plus it does have an impact. So we found that when speaking light language, like in rapid tones, which will probably show you guys a little bit of how it sounds like, those sounds, when it flows through to your body, it could potentially stimulate your nervous system. So it causes a reaction in the nervous system, which you then feel electricity on your fingertips, or whichever part of your body that you're sensitive at, and then whatever intent that is added onto that sound, the body reacts in that way. So it could be very subtle, it could be very dramatic for some people. Well, I had dramatic experiences, but there's some other people who are like, I don't feel anything at all, and then a couple of hours later, they're like totally gone. So it really depends on how each individual reacts to those sounds.
It's personal.
It is very personal. In fact, light language is such a vast topic, but very exciting right now. Why?
Yes.
Because more and more people in the world are
awakening to it, for
speaking
sure.
to it.
Yes.
10 years ago, we didn't have much people doing that. That's why we think like, I think I'm a minority, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
now
going
it's like,
crazy.
Now we're looking for
yes.
friends. Do you speak light language together?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. That's a really clear and concise explanation of what light language is and energies that encompasses and comprises it, right? And so anyone can learn light language basically, because it's really, in a way, an innate ability that we originally had, but as we grew older, we kind of lost it and forgotten it, right? So you also actually conduct classes and lessons. You teach people how to activate their third chakra and to be able to speak light language, do you?
Yes, it's more like providing them a platform for them to feel safe, so that when they speak itself, or when they allow themselves to express the sound, they cannot speak yet. They're just allowing the sounds to come through. They don't feel strange. But of course, we do have participants who are very curious. So they were like, okay, what's that person actually making sounds? So like looking and picking, looking at how others make their sound, and they were like thinking, oh, it's my turn soon.
Yes.
So what kind of sound should I make? But we do have workshops for allowing people to express themselves, and then the next step would be, after the first initial block has been removed, which is self-judgment, then the next step would be like, what can I do with it?
Yes.
The next step, we will have exercises for it.
Yes. Okay, could you give us a demonstration of your light language? Because it's absolutely unique, and I know no other person who can create the kind of sounds that you do. Some of it's like otherworldly even.
Yes.
It's magical, it really is. It has to be experienced.
Yes, well,
Yes.
if I were to just show you, just demonstration-wise,
A simple one.
if I were to make this sound, you will be able to tell the difference. So if I were to just speak in this way, just close your eyes and hear these first. This is example number 1, okay? Mula rebakushe le malakiza le kashela koza la mula beleki bela le zelebrasi le shir bala gasia ala mula rebakusi le kashela ki mula de sar rebakusi kashela kush aliki. So this first example that I just gave itself actually doesn't contain any meaning. It doesn't have any intentions. It was just meant to make sounds. So for most people, you were like, okay, that sounds like light language, especially if they heard of light language before. That sounds like light language. That's not light language at all. It is just actually me mimicking the sounds that I made before. Now, the difference which I'll add then is a mental alignment to the energy of the universe, or the energy that's power that's within you. So if I do that, it will sound different. So you just hear this again. It'd be easier if you just close your eyes and just Molar kushalakir, Nila Balakusa Lavasila Kushamalakia. Moodily Sirga Bashila, Kalara Sigashila, Kalara Legacy, Shalaki. Moodily Sirga Shila, Kalara Sigashila, Kalasar, Electra Lara Sigashila, Kalasara, Nikudella, Lara Sigashilaki, Miser Gazil. So this second demonstration itself, it has a specific intent. The intent is to allow the sounds to have an impact to whoever is listening to this. And of course, the actual nature of what the light language is going to come through, I do not know until it is flowing. So what I saw earlier as it was flowing was that I was seeing chakras. These sounds were meant to just allow the chakras to just relax a little bit, open up a little bit, slow down a little bit, just chill, basically. And that's the picture that's telling me what is it doing. So that explains to me the purpose of me doing it.
Funny that you would say that, because the second one that you did is causing my third eye chakra to tingle like crazy. It's like pulsing and pulsating. I could feel it, it's still tingling right now. So it's amazing. I mean, energetically you could feel the difference, you really could. And when I first heard about light language, I must say I was resistant to it. I was like, what in the world is that? I mean, even though I was taught to speak tongues when I was still a Catholic back then, right? But I was resistant to the idea. But when I first met you, the first time we sat down and had tea, and you started to enunciate some of this light language from the Arcturian, Palladian, Syrian solar star systems, wow, something activated in me, and after that I become sold. Now I'm a fan. I really am. Yeah, that was really awesome, magical, right? So one day I will want to come to your class and learn how to speak light language from you as well. I mean, he's the person to go to if you want to learn this, for sure. I mean, you've been doing it for 10 years, and yeah, you're the expert in this. You're expert in sound, right? Well, Jiro, not only do you do sound healing and light language and beautiful crystal balls, you actually conduct, also spiritual retreats, right?
Yes.
Especially to visit the pyramids, or to like places like Egypt, Mexico, Machu Picchu, things like this. Could you tell us a bit about your recently concluded Egypt retreat, which was in December last year, right?
Yes, it was December.
Yeah.
It was 30th of November all the way to 16. I think it's
Yes.
16th of December. It was about two weeks-ish of a tour. It was really exciting. It was my third time to Egypt itself, and every time we would have different things depending on what comes through. And this year around, last year 2014, we had 59 people that joined us the entire tour from
Different parts of the world.
different parts of the world, and it was really exciting because we spent most of our time on the cruise, seven nights, and then get on and off the cruise and go to different chakras or the temples. And during the tour, usually of course it includes sightseeing, but at the same time there's a lot of time and space that we will allocate for our participants to attend workshops. Workshops that are conducted by me mostly, and also we have some other friends, co-teachers in there that could share some of the techniques too of their own. And we will be doing like meditations and activations, and in their own way connect to their own star energy and to the temple's energy or DNA work at the sacred sites itself. So the tour finishes at the finale for the Great Pyramid. So we went into the Great Pyramid twice. It was a very beautiful experience because when we lie in a sarcophagus, so most people wouldn't know that. Well, why would you want to lie in a sarcophagus?
You're even allowed to? I didn't even know you could.
Well, we need to prepare the energy for it.
Yes.
So then it happened. In the king's chamber, we lie in a sarcophagus. Everybody had a short period of time, and the main aim of the sarcophagus over in there was to tone. So the entire group of 59 of us were toning constantly for an hour-ish. And while each person had their chance to lie in a sarcophagus, as you tone, the whole stone will vibrate. And when it vibrates, because it's designed in a very specific proportion, the golden mean ratio, it actually works on your DNA. It repatternizes your energy field and provides a window of opportunity for your light body to be activated. So what it really means is that it switches on your consciousness to have a glimpse of, like, if you were to feel better about yourself and the whole world, how would you see it? Then you rewire your reality. So that opportunity was presented to everybody who are willing to open up themselves, of course, which is providing a platform, like we say. So during my tours, ever since started, since 10 years ago, I've been bringing tours. Each is just one of the place. There are always workshops every day, at different sites, whether it's in nature forests or whether it's in temples, or we're doing hiking, or we're doing in an enclosed area. So they're always very interactive between spaces and internal world, space and internal world.
Yes, wow. So what's the average duration of a retreat or trip, a sacred tour like this?
It could range from, I would say, minimum 7 days usually, 10 days, all the way to 2 weeks.
And when's your next one?
My next one will be in April. In fact, I have an international tour to one of the UNESCO World Natural Heritage Site is in Yakushima Island. So that will be on the 18th of April to 26th April. And we'll be having, looking at hopefully coming near to close 40 people to join us from again all around the world, and we can't have a bigger group because we're limited space.
Okay.
But we'll be journeying into this ancient forest, and this ancient forest is absolutely beautiful. Why? Because they have these nature spirits. For those people who, well, frankly, if some of you have been watching some animes from some of the famous Japanese animations, you'll see one of the princess called Princess Mononoke Hime. And in there are drawings of those little nature spirits. They have little round faces, round eyes, and round mouth, and they smile and all that. In fact, if you go to the forest and you take photos, they actually do appear in the cameras, in the photos. And you see their smiley faces. It's very magical when you go there because the trees, the cedar wood trees, about 1,000 years old and above. So they're very old,
ancient,
and it rains so often. So the tree absorbs a lot of water, produces a lot of oils. So then the whole forest is purified constantly by this rain and shine, rain.
It smells very good as well.
It smells. We love hugging trees. So for Singaporeans, it's like hot and humid. We don't want to touch anything.
Yes.
But when you're there, it's just like touching everything in the forest and hugging and tasting the water and everything. So it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like such a rejuvenating experience. Is it too late for people to want to sign up?
Well, right now, absolutely. Well, our tour is open, and people are registering right now. We have different people coming from Taiwan or China or Canada too, and Singapore too. So in Singapore, we are still receiving registrations right now, and of course, our friends, for anyone who want, please let us know so that we can arrange.
That's great, right? Could you share with us, Jiro, some of the upcoming projects and assignments that you have other than the April retreat?
Right now, I'm actually looking at producing new albums, and this new album itself is to support people in energy shift. So I look forward to that. There's a lot of planning involved, so I'm not going to reveal that yet. And so looking at writing books, and
By the way, speaking about books, there's actually a book written by you in Mandarin, right? It's actually an autobiography of yourself, right? But written by someone else. Could you tell us more about it?
Yes, yes. It was very interesting because it was written. Well, it was co-written by another friend called Li Xinping in Taiwan. It's actually she written like 30 of her books. So she's really good with it. So what we did was that we just basically did a question and answers version, and then we compile all the different subjects that people are interested in, put it all together. If I were to literally translate the title of the book is basically raising your spiritual antenna and downloading the glorious version of yourself.
Wow, what a title!
so that is the main theme of what the book is all about.
I see.
Connecting with your source and how to
Yes.
work with energies and all that.
Could you run us through what are the other projects they have in the pipeline for this year?
Well, yes. Well, besides the tour that I'll be doing in April in Japan, but we'll also be I'll be traveling, to Japan and to Taiwan, to China, mainly for all of these seminars itself that I'll be teaching. And I'll be doing like the spiritual guides workshop again, which I did it many years ago, and finally came back again. I was really happy to be told and guided to do it again this year. Also, I'll be focusing on developing more on sound work, and the sound work has always been though my main work, but this year around it's calling back in light language too. I'm sure people are asking for it. You can feel that. And well, at the end of the year, we have some exciting thing coming up, so look forward to more updates perhaps as when it comes. Yeah.
You're truly one of the most passionate light workers and spiritual practitioners that I know of, right? And I'm very honored and blessed and excited to have you in this video and to know you, because I learned so much just speaking with you and being in your energy field, right? How can the rest of the audience, right, contact and get in touch with you and sign up for your classes, buy your books, and where can they go to?
Well, our friends, our viewers, you can actually visit my website on yantarajiro.com, yantarajiro.com. So that's my main website. And then we have, for those friends who are interested in bowls, you can go to thesounduniverse.com. And also on Facebook too. I have several Facebook pages, and it'll be quite easy to find me if you just type my name, Yantara Jiro. Just feel free to add me, it's very easy. And also on Meetup too. Meetup is the Sound Universe group. So any of the say bowls events, you can find us there. On YouTube too, if you search my name, you'll be able to find several activation clips that I've done, or harmonic overtonings and things like that. So click to subscribe.
Yes, I'll be placing these links below this video, so please feel free to explore them, right, and get in touch with Jiro. Right, thank you very much, Jiro.
Thank you so much
for being here.
Yeah.
And we hope to have you again in a future video to share with us again once more.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
It was a delight having Jiro. Thank you for watching this video, guys, and we'll see you in my next video.
See you.